Hi. So in this video, I'm going to go over question 18 from the reading comprehension section of prep test 85. Okay, so this is the third passage and it's a comparative reading passage. So we have passage A and passage B. This question, however, can be answered just by looking at passage B. The question says it can be inferred that the author of passage B has which one of the following opinions of opera in which the words are subordinated to the music. Okay, so unless for some reason the author of passage A actually speaks about the author of passage B, then really we are not going to need any information from passage A to answer this question. We should be able to infer the author's opinion from reading that author's passage. Okay, so we're looking for opinions of opera in which the words are subordinated to the music. So that would mean that the music is superior. Okay, superior over the words. All right. Throughout the history of opera, two fundamental types may be distinguished: that in which the music is primary, and that in which there is essentially parity between music and other factors. The former, sometimes called singer's opera, a term which has earned undeserved contempt. Okay. So that would, give us the author's input there, right? Undeserved contempt is exemplified by most Italian operas, while the latter, exemplified by the operas of German composer Richard Wagner, depend for their effect on a balance among many factors of which music is only one, albeit the most important. Okay, so yeah, music is one factor among many, even though it is the most important. Okay. Theoretically, it would seem that there should be a third kind of opera in which the music is subordinated to the other features. While the earliest operas were of this kind, their appeal was limited, and a fuller participation of music was required to establish opera on a secure basis. Right. In any event, in any aesthetic judgment of opera, regardless of the opera's type, neither the music nor the poetry of the libretto should be judged in isolation. Okay. That seems important as well, right? What the author thinks should happen. Right, so what the author thinks should happen, and also here saying that the contempt is undeserved. The music is good, not if it would make a good concert piece, but if it serves the particular situation in the opera in which it occurs, contributing something not supplied by other elements. Similarly, the poetry is good, not because it reads well by itself, but primarily if, while embodying a sound dramatic idea, it furnishes opportunity for effective musical and scenic treatment. True, the elements of music and poetry may be considered separately, but only for purposes of analyzing their formal features. In actuality, these elements are as united as hydrogen and oxygen are united in water. It is this union, further enriched and clarified by the visual action, that results in opera's inimitable character. Okay, so it is primarily a popular art form. This isn't something that we can actually say based on what we just read. The popularity of that type of opera isn't really an issue. Okay. B, it is being justly criticized for betraying opera's main objectives. Yeah, justly criticized doesn't really match up with anything here. So words subordinated to the music I would think that would mean, music is primary, right? Okay. C, it is emotionally more expressive than other types of opera. We haven't really seen him talk about or compare this type of opera to other types of opera in terms of being able to be expressive. So there isn't a justification for that in the passage. It is as legitimate as other types of opera. Yeah, so I think here where they say that contempt for this kind of opera is undeserved, I think that would make me think that D is probably the correct answer. And then E, we actually have some evidence to show that that's not correct. So we shouldn't judge the music based on whether it would make a good concert piece, right? So it should not be judged as though it were a concert piece. Yeah, so I believe all of those things together would allow me to choose D. Okay, and D is the correct answer. I do think probably that this one is a bit more a matter of eliminating the wrong answers than seeing that that D is correct immediately. Like I do think that you kind of have to go through and just try to find the best one, the one that has the most support. And I do think that compared to the others, D definitely is the most supported. So A, primarily a popular art form. I don't see that that opera at all as like a popular art form comes up. The one part where potentially um, this the popularity of opera comes up is when they're talking about this third kind where the music is subordinated. But we know for sure that that's not the kind of opera that we're being asked about in question 18 because we're being told that the words are subordinated here. So even if you didn't know what subordinated meant, you would know that they're talking about two different kinds of opera, one where the words are subordinated and one where the music is subordinated. Yeah, we can't really be talking about that, and they don't really compare the popularity that much. Then justly criticized for betraying. I mean, that's quite strong language, but it also is really the opposite of having earned undeserved contempt, right? So if something is undeserved, it's not just. So justly criticizing something, yeah, that wouldn't match up. Emotionally more expressive than other types. Again, no comparison there. As legitimate, I think we can infer that from the fact that this type of opera has earned some contempt, and the author thinks that that contempt is undeserved. So it shouldn't be hated or looked down on. Um, you know, and why not? Well, because it's just as legitimate. So yeah, so that's why I would choose D for 18.